Okay, UFC Paris was this past weekend with Cyril Gane and Tai Tuivasa being the main event. And a very, very action-packed main event. A pretty good co-main as well. And yeah, overall decent card in general. Obviously, I reviewed, or previewed, I should say, the co-main and the main. Obviously, with the co-main being Robert Whittaker and Marvin Vettori. So, yeah, just going to go through those two fights. Like I said, two relatively... I would say, I mean, the first one, I mean, the main event was definitely action-packed, but the co-main was pretty much what I expected, to be fair. But anyway, so going into these two fights, so first starting off with the Robert Whittaker and Marvin Vettori fight as the co-main in the middleweight division, only a three-rounder. And pretty much what I expected, an absolute one-sided domination for Robert Whittaker. Marvin Vettori, very takedown heavy usually, and didn't literally attempted one takedown and didn't get it, so... It's crazy. And Rob actually got one takedown, I think it was in the third. Or might be a second, I forget. But, yeah, pretty much one-sided beatdown. Rob, if you actually look at the stats, landed 74 out of 166 total strikes. Whereas Vettori, threw 121 and only landed 38. 74 significant strikes for Whittaker, which is exactly the same as how they scored the total strikes. And 33 significant strikes out of 116 for Vettori. Yeah, pretty much... routine win for Whittaker. First round just kept it at his range. Didn't really with Rob, I think when he finds his range, he's very, very difficult to stop him. He flows really well, and I think he lost to Adesanya, but I think as a martial artist, from just a pure martial arts point of view, I think Whittaker is the more well-rounded of the two of them. You don't really see Adesanya I don't know, really throwing a lot of or going for takedowns, submissions. He's just a kickboxer, isn't he? He uses that style and he's transitioned that brilliantly into MMA. But with Whittaker, it was a brilliant performance, and it's still, you know what, it's going to be interesting how this division shapes up. If Pereira maybe knocks out Adesanya, you may see a lot more. Because honestly, Adesanya is great a champion as he is, and he's brilliant. He almost doesn't hold the division up, but he's beating everybody. So I think at that point, if he beats Pereira, he probably needs to go up in weight, because I don't see what else is left from otherwise. Because if he were to go, if you think about it, and the title was up for grabs, you may have Usman coming up. You would have Whittaker, Costa, Vettori, Canis, someone still in the picture. You'd have Mary Chimaev coming up. You'd have so many guys just battling out, and I think it would be brilliant. Pereira as well will be obviously in the pictures. There's so much that could happen, I think, in this, but yeah, pretty routine though for Whittaker. Like I said, he did good with some of the lead leg kicks. Vettori was constantly coming forward in the fight, but Whittaker was just picking it apart at range. It was so comfortable for him. He never really looked in danger once. I do think Whittaker landed one head kick on Vettori, and Vettori just ate it like it was nothing. The man's chin is made out of something else. There was one moment when Vettori was in a grounded position and Whittaker landed a solid strike. Thankfully, didn't need him in the head like certain people. But, yeah, and the second round, again, Vettori for some reason didn't really go for takedowns. He almost tried to strike Whittaker, which I didn't get, because there's not really a competition. He was a better striker. Whittaker landed a lot of sort of lead side leg kicks almost. Almost like the oblique kicks to the knee. And they really... hurt Vettori. You could tell it bothered him. Landed a lot of solid 1-2s as well, which I think is probably Whittaker's best weapon. I say it's his best weapon. It's one of his best on the feet. Does that 1-2 and a head kick, which I think he does it so well, disguises it really well. And because of how Whittaker is, he's always bouncing on his feet. He's hard to hit. This is why I don't understand why Vettori tried to take him down. It didn't make any sense. I mean, why he tried to strike with him even, and why he didn't try to take him down more. He literally... Like, Vettori's striking is very substandard compared to a lot of guys like Adesanya, like Pereira, like Whittaker, even Costa to an extent. Even though he beat Costa, you can still see there's a bit of a difference. So I didn't really understand it. But fair play. Vettori's still a real player in this division. But if you look at his losses recently, they were just to Adesanya and Whittaker. So I don't think you can really look at him and think he's out of it completely. But I think he just needs to improve the striking, is what it is. It reminded me a little bit of the Adesanya 2 fight, where it was almost like a sparring session for Whittaker. He did really well, but he just lit him up at range, beat him up to the body, to the head. Again, it was like Vettori almost just stayed on the outside too much as well. Didn't really close the space didn't really get in the pocket, which I felt was what he needed to do in this fight. But yeah, like I said, routine for Whittaker though. And for him next, maybe Paulo Costa, or maybe the winner of or the loser, I should say, of Adesanya and Pereira, because then you can boost yourself back in that title picture. Yeah, I don't really see what there's a few out there, but Whittaker's pretty much the best of the rest, and I think he could be Adesanya. I just think Adesanya is too long for him, which is the issue when they fight. But regardless, though, Whittaker shows that even if he loses, he still comes back strong, and definitely a lot of people feel like he's the rightful champion because people feel like he beat Adesanya the second time. I don't, but good fight though, and I still think Whittaker's definitely is a very, very close number 2 to Adesanya, but I think still don't think he has the beating of him. But regardless, it'll be interesting to see how he pans out. Like I said, next I'd like to see him and Paulo Costa, because they were scheduled to fight a while ago.